Hi, I'm Pastor Emily Carson. Thanks for sharing time together today. It is really quite amazing that on this planet, in this life, we get to experience life with other people. When people in the past would ask me where I experience God's presence, usually I thought about creation and nature and being on hikes and being outdoors. And so I would invite you to consider that question. When and where do you experience the presence of God? For me, I used to think about experiencing God almost exclusively in creation and in quiet time. And what I've realized over these last 7 months of pandemic living is that another way that I do experience God's presence is through human encounters, through conversations with other people. And it really wasn't until that part of my life changed really dramatically in terms of a lot less access, interpersonal access to people one-on-one in the flesh. It wasn't until that part was taken away that I really realized that that was a place that I was experiencing the presence of God through other people, through conversations with other people where they share about their lives and insights, their perspectives and stories. And so thankfully, we get to experience life with other people. Even when we can't be together in the flesh, we can still experience the insights and stories of other people through the phone, through letters, and through Zoom. And safely, we can do that together sometimes in some ways. So I was thinking about a gospel story. It's in the Gospel of Mark. It's also in the Gospel of Matthew. And it's a story of Jesus with a Syrophoenician woman. We actually never get to learn her name. And in that interaction, Jesus is traveling. He's doing teaching and preaching and healing. And a woman with a really sick daughter who is not from the same faith tradition as Jesus approaches Jesus and says, I'll tell you exactly what she says. She begs him to cast the demon out of her daughter. And Jesus says, "Let the children be fed first, for it's not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs," which is a really outrageous thing for Jesus to say. And scholars have been studying it for literally millennia. But what we discern that Jesus might be saying is, hey, you're from another religious group, so it wouldn't be fair, Jesus is saying, it wouldn't be fair for me to help you because there are other people from my same religious group that need my help. And the woman says, "Sir, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." And after hearing that, Jesus says, "For saying that, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." So Jesus heals the woman's daughter. As I said, scholars have been studying this text for millennia, and some people would say Jesus knew all along that he was going to heal the woman's daughter. He just was waiting for a signal of her faith. I actually think that it's very possible that this human encounter was a transformative experience for Jesus. That when he had this interpersonal experience with someone from another faith tradition, and when he saw her vulnerability and her willingness to express this broken part of her life and her willingness to ask for help, that something about that very possibly transformed Jesus' own ministry. And that gives me a lot of hope for this moment in our shared lives together. What is possible when we really listen to each other, when we interact with one another, when we are vulnerable, when we ask for help? It is in these human interactions that we get an experience of the presence of God. So as you navigate the weeks ahead, as I navigate the weeks ahead, let's be on the lookout for ways to really connect with other people. Whether we can do it safely in the flesh or whether it needs to happen through video chat or text messaging or emails, whatever the case might be, may God grant us wisdom and guidance as we compassionately interact with one another. Thanks.